Hey everyone, hello. Welcome to episode 2 of the Super Brothers podcast. Here I am, Jose Ojeda, and then Miguel Melendez and Candido Crespo.
Hello
everyone.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome to episode 2. We made it. We decided to commit ourselves to another episode. Let's see how long we keep this boat rocking.
Hopefully for a while.
Hopefully. It's all about momentum, right?
Yeah.
Today's episode is going to be largely geared on health, right? The very broad and very important topic of health. And the way we want to kick things off, we want to talk about what we're doing right now, give a little recap of our lives, or we just want to jump in?
I feel like we already set it up, so let's just go right in.
Let's just jump in. So one thing that we've all been involved in is a FitBit challenge. Do you guys got yours on? I know me and Dito do. I know that Migs does not.
I don't wear that thing.
Man.
That's the point of the Fitbit, is to wear it all the time.
I am very much concerned about what that thing is doing, how it's scanning and measuring heart rate and all of that. And I've actually looked at a few articles.
So you're skeptical. You're skeptical of how accurate it is.
I don't want to have it on 24/7. Like for me, I'll put it on when I'm doing an activity. And actually, I read a few articles, and they said probably the best way to go about it is wear it for a few days when you're doing activity, and see, sort of use it as like a benchmark, so you know how you're performing, and then come back to it after 2 weeks and see how you've improved and stuff. So I think that's how I'm going to approach the Fitbit. Although now that we're doing the weekend challenges, I'll probably do it, at least once a week.
Yeah, because I was definitely about to inform you, you will lose every competition if you choose to do that method.
You're currently because us three and one other brother, we're currently in the same Fitbit challenge for the week, which is five days long. And we're at various thousands
15 steps, baby.
Miguel is in hard with 15 steps. And let me remind you, when this is recorded, it is now Thursday. And according to your Fitbit, you have been sedentary in your bed, only went to the bathroom once. I
actually don't know how I got those 15 steps because I haven't been wearing it. So.
It was probably residuals from the night before and the weekend.
It was Sunday. You won by Sunday night. You worked overnight.
Yeah, plus I was pacing around to get those last few steps.
That's what it was.
For the challenge.
He got mad at me because I kept posting like different places I was at.
This dude was out and about.
He was like, "Stop moving! I'm trying to beat you."
Yo, I really want to know how, if he was at work at an office, how is he capable of beating three of us?
I have a gym in my office.
Oh,
do you really?
Yeah, and
do you have a treadmill desk?
I don't have a treadmill desk. There's a gym and there's a treadmill there. And so we're encouraged to use that during off time.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
and we're all
Plus,
jealous.
there was a lot of pacing.
That's how it should be.
While
A lot of pacing
around my desk.
Yeah. Like Scrooge McDuck, how he used to pace around that circle. Remember in his like money bin?
My man, that's where I would get all my steps from.
My
arm just counting monies, man.
Right. That's it. After you dive in head first into a pool of gold.
Gold coin.
So it's interesting. You say you don't want to wear your Fitbit 24/7, which is a great approach, because now things are consuming. I think, Dito, do you wear yours 24/7?
Yeah. I do. Because I'm interested in my sleep patterns. I'm interested in my weekend versus my weekday.
Sure, it does lots of stuff.
Yeah,
I have a question.
Yes.
What data can you extract from, or what can you extract from the data that presents to you in terms of like your sleep patterns? Like what does it tell you? Because all I saw really was
hours or time.
Right. The time that you were actually asleep versus, REM sleep versus whatever.
Sure.
So,
well, aside from that, it shows you when you like fidget, when you kind of move around. It shows how much time you've actually been in deep sleep. What else do you need to know about sleep other than that?
I really care about how much I'm awake at night. I wanted to know, like, even if I slept, let's say, all right, my goal is 7 hours. Let's say I think I slept my 7 hours. Let's say, I went to bed at 12, woke up at 7. But I still feel very tired. So what happened? Then I get to see like, oh, what the heck happened between 2 and 3? What was I doing? Like, it's not even,
What do you do then? See, I stopped wearing my Fitbit to bed because it would tell me I thought I slept 6 hours, but I really slept 4. or something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my God, I'm killing myself. This was several months ago, by the way. So I've improved my sleep, I think, but I can't tell because I haven't worn my Fitbit to bed.
So
I take it off.
All I would do was just like add an hour then. If
you would actually add some time. So it's good. It's helpful for you. For me, I wouldn't. I would just go to sleep at the same time and know that I hated myself more. That's why I take it off.
So would you notice on days that you got less REM sleep?
You would notice
were more tired.
Yeah.
Generally, like you felt that.
Yeah. And I also want, just of course I didn't measure it with the Fitbit, but if my eating habits during the day affected my sleeping, I would want to know that too.
Okay.
So we all got these things, right? It's interesting, the wearable, right? And it's funny that this is the wearable that we have right now, and it's not the Apple Watch. It's funny that even though it does pretty much the same thing, if not more. But I don't know, something about how kind of cheap this thing. It's price point too. Apple Watch was like what, $400.
So I want to argue the price point thing. Mine was a gift, but the Surge wasn't exactly.
It wasn't cheap.
No,
it's not. It's not a
throwaway. It would have been the lower model of the Apple Watch.
Would it be? Mm-hmm. Would it have been? Oh yeah, your Surge. Your Surge is pricey. Yeah, and that opens up another area of segue into the price point of being fit,
right?
Sort of like the socioeconomic barriers to fitness, which I think there are several.
Yes.
Okay, we got a quick comment here from Alex.
Statistics show that most wearables are are abandoned after 6 months' time. I could see that very much being true. I knew it as soon as I bought the Fitbit. I was like, I'm gonna love this for 3 weeks, and that's it. And that's exactly what happened. I liked it for 3 weeks, and then I just started wearing it as a watch. It was habit. I just put it on because it was a habit, but I didn't really care what the number said. To me, like I didn't care if I did my steps or not. If I did, I was like, yes, I did 10,000, but I wasn't challenging myself. I think the added challenges is what's really making me remotivated and reinterested.
By challenges, you mean with like the setting up that Fitbit community? Yeah,
the community is what is huge.
I think that was important. And I think I think that can also be important, just like in regular gym. Like sometimes people, individuals will find it difficult to be motivated, but if you have a gym partner, that have that sense of competition, that friendly competition with one another, in which our case is friendly competition, even though we want to destroy Miguel.
Yes.
So I don't know, how long have you been wearing? I bought mine in last August. So
I'm
still not a year.
November. So it was fairly recently.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I was like, all right, I'm doing this because it is a price point. It's like 120, 100. Yours was probably what, $200 or
$250.
$250. That's a big leap to do it, and no regrets at all. But still,
how long, Miguel? How long have you had your Fitbit?
I think it's only been a couple of weeks. Yeah. I actually really enjoy it as like a watch.
Okay.
The model I have is the Charge HR, so it doesn't do. It doesn't do a whole lot except.
Doesn't do a whole lot. Come on, man.
Hold on.
Look at all the features.
Bro. No. So it'll tell you when somebody's calling, and then it really won't do any in terms of like watch. Smartwatch features, right? Okay. And I actually like that about it because I don't think I would use. I don't think I would use a lot of the other features. I wasn't really like attracted to the Apple Watch.
So the Apple Watch, it's too much. I think
it's like it's too much, and you have your phone. If you're going to take the time and like look down at something,
you still need your phone. It's not a phone replacement,
right?
It's not like you can just I just got to watch now. This is it. I can call from this. No, you still need the phone. So you're already carrying two things. What is?
I will say when I don't wear it, which is most of the time, I do find myself from the times that I do that I do wear it, I find myself looking at it like to look at the time or even whatever.
We have another comment.
Okay.
Who's gonna
read? Would you like to read it, Dito?
Miguel, do it. You got cut off last time, man.
My bad.
And then just as a side note, there's something wrong with mine because I keep going in and out.
Okay,
so I'll just do it.
Okay, Dito, you.
Yeah. All right. So early adoption versus a true replacement device. The Pebbles, Pavlok, Apple Watches, Fitbits, etc.
Early adoption. Interesting. I mean, I feel like there's a great point in there, but I don't know what the Pavlok is.
I don't know what that either. Pebble.
Yeah, that's the one.
I was familiar with Pebble. Pebble was wasn't that a crowdsourced project?
Maybe change it. Make me click. Who wants to click the thing?
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. This is good.
Yeah.
Pebble.
Oh, 2. They are. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it was a Kickstarter campaign. That's what it was. That's where I had seen it.
I mean, there is something the first to market. You know, Fitbit has that name recognition. There's tons of companies doing the same thing, pretty much. But I think it's like we said before, the community is really what I got a Fitbit mostly because I can have Fitbit friends, right?
Yeah.
That's mostly why I got the Fitbit, is so that I can be part of that community.
It was a nice surprise for me, actually. It's what keeps me motivated in it now. But when I initially received it, it was for personal use. I didn't even know how detailed the application was. Like I didn't know I was getting all of that information
That's good.
through the app. So a lot of it was a pleasant surprise. I know I was getting my steps. I knew I wanted the surge because I wanted GPS aspect of it. The heart rate mattered to me. So those things were what initially pushed me towards this model. Then model aside, the app has a whole other source of information that's super useful.
It's very robust.
Yeah. And it picks up on the exercise. Like a lot of my cardio work is elliptical. I have no idea how it recognizes. I still don't know how it recognizes that I'm doing an elliptical or I'm playing basketball, let's say sport. I don't know how that recognition happens.
I feel like if I was playing the drums, I'd be killing it right now.
Oh, my goodness. Yep.
Yeah. I want to try and get away from the Fitbit. We're just so captivated by this.
Yeah. Talking about the next thing.
But you can segue. Blast beats.
Yeah. So I will say probably the most attractive thing about it is like you guys were saying earlier, like a sense of community and having those challenges where you can challenge your friends. And then, this weekend was a great example. We could talk about that a little bit before we ultimately segue away from this conversation. But
something that Alex, our one of our viewers, just brought up is that they're abandoned after 6 months' time, and I think that has something to do also with like people's commitment to fitness in general, or fat or diets. Like let's say you start a new diet, or you start going to the gym. A lot of people drop off. And I've dropped off. You start, all right, this is the year. This is the year I'm going to do it. This is the week that I'm going to do it. And you do it for a little while, and then sort of the momentum fades. So I think lately it's just getting more things to keep you motivated. Anything that'll keep you, entry-level wearables. Cheap, less development, trying to capitalize on the market.
And they have. Miguel, you didn't finish your comment. What were you saying? Where were you going with this?
No, I was just going to say... just talk a little bit about how our challenge went this weekend.
Yeah, you beat us. That's how it went. You won.
No, I mean basically right. If I hadn't been wearing it though, I wouldn't have ran. Close to. I think on Saturday I cleared 10 miles or something. I wouldn't have done that. Right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, so as somebody who I used to run a lot, and I'm trying to get back into it now. I think it's it's definitely aiding in that, and it's
super helpful,
pushing me. Through this sense of community to do more, try harder.
So I think the opposite happened to me this weekend. I think once I realized I was falling behind, I kind of
gave up.
Yeah, I didn't push.
No,
I didn't push. And I think it's because prior to the challenge, I had already in my mind planned to not be extremely active.
You planned to fail.
Yeah, so I planned to fail.
You were talking about
you did talk a lot of smack.
Well, because I wasn't doing it doesn't mean that I didn't want to motivate you guys.
Oh, is that okay?
So I mean, we still have. Nice. I think we still have a certain level of responsibility, right? I mean, it's a competition.
You scared us into competition. It's like, oh no, Dita's gonna do it. So I gotta run.
Miguel, couldn't even believe the Miguel. I was trying to figure out how's this happening, and then Julian's putting on when he's when he's syncing up the Fitbit
soccer,
he's got he's syncing 24,000 steps every sync
at a time. Yeah, it's really annoying.
Yeah, that first day I was like, what?
Yeah,
are you serious?
I'm gonna kill it though. I'm gonna win this week.
Yeah, but that actually made me determined to like come back and try to win the secondary.
You see?
What are we moving on to?
What's next?
What did we say we were going to
do? So can it's a Super Bros podcast. We should probably talk how this Fitbit thing has aided in our relationships. Has it? It's
outside
linked.
from the.
So
it is
with the community idea. I have reunited with brothers and some friends actually from fellow alum from Newport. I've linked with them I haven't spoken to them in some time, and it's awesome that I'm linking with them through a means of health.
Yeah,
nice. As opposed to at the bar.
Right.
I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm still kind of shocked by it now because you get friend requests and you're like, oh, who's this? And then you're like, oh, wow. I haven't spoken to this brother in a real long time. Like, I don't have to speak to him, but I'm up for the challenge. Yeah, let's compete. Boom.
Yeah. One of my questions that I have is how much is this in our time of our lives? Like, how much is this focus on fitness as opposed to, let's say, going to the bar every weekend? How is this a shift in our times, or is it a shift in our times? Like, is it because we're in our early 30s, or is it because in general everyone's kind of shifting that way? Is there like a mass refocus on fitness? It's hard to tell for us, right? So we need some like younger cats to tell us.
Right. I definitely have a perspective on this. And I've made it clear to my wife that I feel like if regardless of what I'm doing, whether it's teaching, which is my profession, or I'm doing artwork, which is my hobby, my passion, or I'm just being the best husband possible, I can't do any of those things without the proper health. So I'm loving this new challenge, even if it ends in a celebration of a drink. Like let's say like, hey, that was a tremendous week. Let's have a drink to celebrate. That was great. We did great. Like.
You would have drank anyway, in theory. You know what I mean? You would to some other thing, just because we it's a weekend.
It now. Like this time that we earned it. Now we have an excuse like, wow, man, we burned some amount of calories. What is this? What's this going to cost us?
And that's not uncommon. I feel like think of most marathons or any big long events of
those
fitness.
Spartan race ends with
they all end with giant things of beer.
Massive.
I was going to say that's why I think it's a cultural thing because you have this coming up, right? The mud races.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, the races of all sorts, right? You have the mud runners, you have the Fuddruckers, you have the
where it's much more of a social thing, right? And it's like invite your friends, and there's like a low barrier of entry. It's not like hey, let's go run because we're two athletes or whatever. We're both. It's not like that anymore. Now it's kind of like everybody can join in.
Yeah.
I want to give a quick shout out actually to Full Spin, which is a bike club started by some of our bros, Alvin Nesbitt from my chapter.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, him and I think a few of his friends started a bike club, Full Spin. What they'll do is they'll do like rides together. And
Echo.
There's an echo. And then usually it'll end in like, or there'll actually be a few stops, and we'll stop and get something to drink, and then move on to bike to.
So you're part of it. Have you done it?
I've only done one. I know Julian, one of our other brothers, he does it too. So, but yeah, really cool, good time, and it's like another example of overall social experience.
It's good. I like that people are. I hope that it's the case that everyone wants to get healthy. Healthy's in now, right? Mm-hmm. It's fit is in, and I hope that catches on. I want everyone to be fit, to be honest. Because you walk around America and you see too many people who aren't fit. And I'm not saying I'm the fittest guy in the world. I know I'm not, but I know I feel awakened at least.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people aren't awakened to their own reality.
And you're not totally unfit, though.
No, I'm not totally
you participate in activities. Maybe not super consistently, but
I just think that but I don't want to come at a point of like me being better than someone. Okay. I just want to approach it as I'm just more aware of myself and of how things are and how like systemic the issue of unhealth, of obesity, of like the stuff that's in our food. Yeah. And a lot of people just live their lives not knowing about a lot of these issues,
Right.
And they don't care about, let's say, their weight gain or their lack of fitness. Not as a shallow end, but just this is just
how much do you think of it is due to like our socio and economic?
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Because
how much does it? I think it's It's not entirely, but it's partly. I think the socioeconomic barriers are what kind of perpetuates where you start from. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're overweight. Socioeconomically, if you're poor, it'll be harder for you to lose the weight.
To climb out of that.
It'll be harder for you to climb out of that because your sources, your resources will cost a lot more. You know, because healthy meals in this country cost a lot more than fattening ones. Right. Another part of it is also kind of the industries. Well, that too. Yeah, but I was going to say the food industry and how like sugar. Have you seen the sugar documentary or heard of it? And basically how sugar's in everything and how it's evil.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't see it, but I'm familiar with what you're talking about.
And these are all things that because of the internet and documentaries we've just been blind to our whole lives, or a majority of our lives. We just didn't know, you know?
So check out this comment.
Yes.
So dollar store, an entire aisle dedicated to sugars and sweets, cereals, 2 choices. Yeah, I mean, if you only have $1, what are you gonna do with it, right?
If you only have $1, and again, there's so many ways you can look at this. Cereal, the advertising, right? They put Tony the Tiger. He says this is great. Am I not gonna believe Tony the Tiger who tells me that the cereal is great?
Believable to me.
I
don't know too many talking tigers.
You know, and
I love that dude.
It's so crazy. And there's no Tony the Tiger at the dollar store.
We need to give this guy a chair.
It's not. I know we should. One day we'll open up that 4th mic.
And so when you said time, are you referencing like just like in a lower socioeconomic location, maybe those people are working too much, that the last thing they're concerned about is attending a gym?
That's the general sense.
Okay.
They're working too hard, or they have to take care of their families, or they're commuting because they can't live in the area where they work,
right?
And they're working long hours, maybe double jobs. Time do you have to work? Right. I know people who are more privileged and who have better jobs, better socioeconomic. They complain about, I don't have time for the gym. Right. They say that, and they use that as an excuse, which is a valid one for their lives. They just don't have time.
So I was watching We Love Paleo document. That's a documentary on paleo, and one of the people they were interviewed definitely mentioned the idea of physical fitness becoming a part of your life, not a chore. So like a lifestyle as opposed to the chore. So, but a lot of their activities or exercises were based on play. So
I see.
Like natural movements. So, whether it's sports or it's just, hey, I see a playground over there. I'm going to climb the monkey bars and, maybe do a couple flips or something. And
so things that are more enjoyable for them. And that's what keeps them engaged with fitness.
Right.
My perspective is I want to just open up the awareness to do something. Like usually when people tell me, I don't go to the gym, or it's like, I don't know. The big thing I hear is I wouldn't know what to do there. Right now, like I wouldn't know how to use the machines, or I don't know. I need a routine. People think they need a routine or something.
Yeah.
And I always tell them like, just get there. Just get in there and
do
anything. Like the biggest barrier is just stepping foot. Because once you're in the building of the gym or whatever center of fitness you're gonna be at, you're not just gonna leave. You're not gonna turn around. You're gonna at least step on a treadmill or on an elliptical and try things out.
Hey, going back, if I could cut you off for a second.
Yeah, please.
Going back to what Dito was saying about play, and how fitness is sort of like intertwined with play. I think also what we're seeing now with like virtual reality is we're probably not seeing it now, but we're seeing the potential for maybe not with the Google Cardboard, but we're seeing the potential for fitness to play a greater role, and for you to be, using your entire body to play games, right? And so,
so like
and not only virtual reality, but like even like the Microsoft Connect. For example, they had actually a fitness app on that, and at the time I was kind of like really into P90X, and they had some of the some of the videos there. So I did it, and actually it worked pretty well the way it tracked what you were doing. So I think we'll see more and more of that.
There it is.
Community competition is the future of fitness. Yeah, I think so.
I think so. And the gamification of that sort of thing, right? Right now, we're gamifying what we're doing. You know, we were talking about video games, but this is a video game that we're playing with each other. You know, instead of Angry Birds and swipes or like,
absolutely.
No,
We'll cut the rope. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Cut the rope or whatever. It's actual fitness, you know, where you actually have to move your body into space. It's funny what you were saying about virtual reality, because they're creating these virtual reality centers, you know, like big stadiums almost, where people are, you can run around freely and be in this virtual space. It's funny when, you know, how much will fitness matter when we're all in the Matrix and this doesn't matter anyway, right?
When it ends up on Steam as a AAA title with VR movement, that's when it will have arrived. We've seen glimpses of it with Wii Fitness, etc. So it's still just an indie movement, I guess, is what's going on right now.
Yeah, he linked us up to a subreddit, reddit.com/r/fitness. Reddit's crazy, man. You can find if you want a community.
Hey, can I just go
yes,
backtrack to the comment on the low socioeconomic aspect and how this affects certain communities.
Right.
So I was listening to the radio the other day, and Power 105 in the Breakfast Club, they were interviewing Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Oh, you heard it?
I did.
I didn't listen to that. That's
cool. Did hear it, and it's extremely powerful.
Okay,
but I don't agree with everything.
Like most things, Farrakhan, it's extremely powerful, but okay.
But it doesn't mean that even the things I don't agree with aren't powerful statements that he makes either way. But he mentioned he mentioned two things. Maybe I'll say one of them for a different conversation. But one of them that I found relevant for this conversation right now is he was started to refer to these communities, such as the South Bronx, as like food deserts. And what he meant by that is, the people there can't find the food that's necessary for them to be healthy. So when they leave, when they have to leave and that oasis, like let's say they want to go to Whole Foods in another community, they end up. This is a little extreme, but they end up going in debt trying to find health food when they don't even have the money to begin with to even afford those foods.
I don't think that's extreme at all to say. I think that's very legitimate.
So that segment I thought was extremely powerful, and it was a lot to consider. And when he said it, I almost stopped listening to what the rest of his comments were, that followed, because I was thinking like, wow, it's a food desert. These people are there and they are hungry and they would love to be healthy, but that option doesn't exist.
No. Right. And think about it. Think the idea that you already commute for work, to commute for food, for good food. And then, like you said, even when you get there, you can't even buy it.
Yeah, you can't.
It's like a whole.
Hey, you see that happening also in Bedford-Stuyvesant, the neighborhood that I live in now.
Yeah. Sure.
For a long time, right? If you wanted, and even today, right? If you want something, if you wanted to buy foods like Whole Foods, something organic, non-GMO. You can't get it here. You have to go to an entirely different neighborhood in Brooklyn, and there's no, in terms of like public transit, right? There's no easy way to get to these other neighborhoods. Like it's really at least 40 minutes away.
Screwed up. There are a lot of organizations right now that are trying to combat just this. So they're no stranger to this problem. It's a big problem, and there's a different food banks, or there's just awareness, or I've heard of trucks that will drive in sort of good food into a neighborhood. Like they'll get these buses and they'll park them inside these inner city neighborhoods so you can kind of go and shop. So these are good steps that are happening, but I feel like there needs to be more systemic change.
It's not prevalent. Yeah, you do have the food shares, and you do have the farmers markets.
Sure.
But again, these things, it's just not prevalent. It's not enough. You can't count on it. They're only available at certain times.
To bring it back to my other point of sort of being aware, let's say, one of these food trucks, let's say you're poor and like you're kind of out of shape, or you're just not healthy. And then one of these trucks rolls into your neighborhood, or another opportunity comes in. what's going to make you go in there and get the healthy food. If you're not even aware that you're not healthy, if you're not even aware that your life could be better, or that you're doing something wrong. Right. Education is a key part of that too.
Education is huge. Yes.
And even as someone who grew up in a, I had a great education. I didn't receive a great health education. Health for me, my health education was a throwaway. It was like, okay, here's your health. It was almost like okay, we have to do this. Yeah. It wasn't a serious. Now we're going to teach you literally what it is that you put inside you and that the outcome will be. What foods to eat and what they mean. Not to mention that they kept shoving the food pyramid down our throat, right? Uh-huh. And they were like, eat as many carbs as you possibly can, which now we've realized is probably not the best thing to do. And then some people will say these things are a conspiracy, that they're trying to keep inner city people down. And I'm not even saying that that's wrong. But, the more that we learn, the more that everyone else learns too, right? Yeah, so maybe at some point the food pyramid, they thought maybe this would work. Right. But then you learn over time, and you refine these theories or these where's I going with that? Someone take the ball.
You said it.
Well, no, yeah, absolutely. You go ahead, dude.
No, I was telling them, that his statement was made. It's pretty clear.
Yeah. So food desert. I heard a podcast once where this activist, what he does is he takes empty spaces, like empty lots, or just the barriers between cars, like between roads, and he starts planting food there. So using like the wasted soil space, or like the unused soil space, to grow food. So it's a great, brilliant idea, but it's especially when you're dealing with cities and public spaces like that. It's I'm at least hopeful that some of this trickles down. Some of like our energy, or like our generation's energy towards health, starts to trickle down, and we can, especially with the internet, start talking to each other about these things, and hopefully it spreads, and we can all become more aware of health.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've hit our wall, guys.
Yeah, maybe. What? How long have we been doing? We've gone on this.
We would be on our 30 now.
Wow,
I think we're about 30.
Perfect show. Little over. Before last week we did a show. It was an hour.
Yeah,
and I don't think people are ready for that, considering no one's watching at all. No one's watching at all.
Shout out to Alex.
We have Alex. You're really great, Alex.
Yeah, man, we appreciate that.
Stick around, Alex, after we sign off. I'd love to talk to you and find out a little bit more about you and stuff, what you're about. Yeah, we could wrap it there, man.
Yeah. Until next time.
Until next time. And this won't be the last time we talk about health either.
No, it'll come up again.
It'll come up again.
Yeah.
Shout outs. Did we say we were going to shout any people out? What was that podcast you were telling me about? The Bros podcast?
I wanted to shout out Alex Cespedes.
Alex Cespedes,
who's a brother of ours, and he has a podcast called Wits About You.
What's about
we haven't reached out to him yet, but we would love Wits About You, right?
Cool.
But we would love we'd like to have him on the show, and we'll just talk about it more then.
And that's on iTunes. Wits About You.
It's available on iTunes. That's how I listen to it. Yeah.
Fantastic. This is good. Dito, anything?
So we have brother Steve Lucen, who he'll be a future guest. He has accepted the invitation, and we'll be scheduling him shortly, and that should be fun as well.
Yeah, we got some other people on the pipeline also.
Yeah,
we definitely want to get more guests in here and just to spread the network. So this is fun. I'm still having fun. So, cool. I think we can wrap that up. Thanks, guys, for watching the Super Brothers podcast.
It's a wrap.
Super Bros podcast, episode 2. And we'll be back next week, hopefully.
Yep.
Cool. Bye-bye.
That's it.
Bye.